Fallout 4, a game with a deserted wasteland, robots, and hostile creatures. And since I've already played Fallout 76 on the channel, I decided to try it out. As I started up the game, I was allowed to customize my character. After that, I wandered around the house for a bit before someone knocked on the door. As I opened the door, it appeared that it was a vault tech salesman, who then offered me a place in the local vault, since the bombs were dropping pretty soon. I then accepted the ticket and was allowed a place in the vault. Soon after the salesman left, the TV said that one of the nuclear bombs was dropping in our area. As soon as I heard that, me and the rest of the family retreated out of the house and to the local vault. As I reached the gates guarding the vault, I find the vault tech salesman trying to get in. After the guards shoot him away, I then was allowed into the vault. As I reached the vault platform, the bombs had just dropped. And as the blast just started to reach us, we were then safely tucked away. As the platform reached the ground, we were allowed into the vault. After taking a vault jumpsuit, they then led us into the freezing chambers, where we would be frozen until the time has come. After a while of being frozen, I then woke up inside of my chamber. I saw two strangers walk up to the pod that contained the rest of my family. They then kidnapped the baby and shot the mother. After that, they retreated and I was frozen up again. After waking up again, I then banged my fist on the glass before it opened up. I then proceeded to try and pursue the people who kidnapped my son. But first, I had to escape the vault. As I walked down the hallway that I walked down before, the main door wouldn't open up, so I had to take another route. And this route was filled with roaches. Giant roaches. After going through the horde of roaches, I then proceeded to go to another door, which was locked, but this time wasn't permanent. I just had to go to a terminal and unlock it from there. After that, I made it to the main vault door, but unfortunately, it was under a lock which only a Pip-Boy can unlock. And that was when I found my Pip-Boy on the ground. It did come from a decayed corpse though. The Pip-Boy is a staple of the Fallout franchise. It is used to track your stats, perks, and other data. After retrieving the Pip-Boy, I then used it to activate the vault gate. After going through the gate and heading over to the elevator, I then proceeded back up to the surface. Before we head back up to the surface, I would like to ask if you can subscribe. It is free and you'll get notified whenever I make new content. Now back to the video. As the elevator started to reach the surface, I was now met with a big, deserted wasteland. And as I walked across the bridge that I once used to retreat, I found the remains of what used to be my neighborhood. As I walked back to what once was my home, I found Codsworth still working the house. And as I talked to him, I discovered that he was unaware of what just happened. He did know, though, that I have been gone for the past 200 years. I guess being put inside of a freezer really keeps you fresh. After that, me and Codsworth decided to look around the neighborhood, or at least what was left of it, for the kid that was just kidnapped. After a failed attempt to find him, he suggested to check out the nearby town to see if I have any better luck. After grabbing a few more materials from the place, I walked over a bridge to investigate the town nearby. As I stepped off the bridge, I found the dead body of a waiter. After I took whatever goods he had, I then came across the Red Rocket Station, which was where I found a dog. This dog would soon be a friend and would be a companion aside my adventure. As I was taking a stop at the Red Rocket Station for shelter, we were then ambushed by some mole rats. They were disgusting little things. After handling the wave, I then continued off on my adventure. As I entered the town, I found some waiters attacking the history museum. As I entered the building and fought off all the hordes inside, I then entered the office, where a society called the Minutemen, They thanked me for my assistance, but we weren't done yet. There were still groups of waiters getting ready to come, and they did not have the firepower to fend all of them off. One of them got an idea that I could use some leftover power armor from upstairs. The problem was that it was not powered on. The only fusion core in the building was from a power generator from downstairs. As I went downstairs though, the power generator was being guarded by a locked gate. After having to pick the lock, I was then able to access the fusion core. As I went back upstairs, I then found the power armor on the roof. And as I slid the fusion core into it to power it on, I was allowed to wear it. And after ripping a machine gun off of its hinges, I then jumped off the roof and did a very cool superhero landing. I then went to work, fending off the hordes of raiders as they went. That was until a giant lizard jumped out of nowhere and just killed me on the spot. Alright, round 2, here we go. This time I was more prepared and I was able to finish off the giant dinosaur pretty easily. After finishing off the rest of the raiders, I then headed back inside to see the Minutemen. As I talked to them, they then thanked me for protecting them and said that they would be moving to a new place. One of them then suggested that I should look for the child at a place called Diamond City. After that, I walked with them to their new base of operations, and it actually turned out to be my neighborhood. After that, I walked back to Concord, got a nice look of the city, and logged off for the day. And that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Happy gaming!